Thank you so much for your time on the show today, Ifueko. And let's first start by taking a step back and understanding how this week has been so far for investors at the fixed income and FX markets in Nigeria.
Good afternoon. So for the fixed income space, since we had the FAC credit in of about 300 billion on Friday last week, we have seen liquidity as high as about 400 billion. And this liquidity has driven the activities of the fixed income market. The demand, we've seen a very bullish market through the week. And we've seen, as a result, the OMO yields are almost converging or have even converged with the NTB yields at this time at about 3% for both NTB 1 year and the OMO 1 year. However, for the bonds market, what we're seeing is a pretty quiet market. And as a result, we're beginning to see widened spreads and slightly increased yields in the bond space. It's been quite a quiet market through the week. There's going to be a maturity of about 262 billion, almost maturity tomorrow, and also an NTB maturity of about 197 billion. Hopefully, maybe we'll see some activity once this money comes in. So while we're seeing bullish sentiment in the T-bill space, we're seeing a rather quiet to bearish sentiment in the bond space.
All right, now, fairly liquid market, as you say, and I'm trying to understand what we can expect going into next week on the liquidity front in the markets.
Well, on Friday, we have the retail SMI auction. I'm sure by the time the banks fund for their bids to go to the central bank, will likely see reduced liquidity. So I expect that by Friday, we'll see liquidity to normalize, maybe go down to about 200 billion levels or lower, and then we'll now see that liquidity sort of dry up due to the auction. So going into next week, we'll likely see money market rates inch up higher, so maybe about 7% plus, because we are currently at about 2 to 3%. So going into next week, we definitely see that the yields on the rates in the money market, that is the OBB and overnight rates, will definitely go up as liquidity will decline quickly.